Welcome to On the Floor with Dzoe Ahmad.
Hey everybody, welcome to On the Floor. It's the first podcast of the year. It's New Year, it's 2024, it's happening live. And today I am so happy to be joining by the coolest friend of mine, the person that I admire. Their journey has been incredible in channeling mental health issues and being able to find voices for Black communities across Massachusetts and New York City. He is an actor, a model, and activist. In October 2023, he founded In My Mind podcast, which is available on Spotify. His name is Rodney Badger. Welcome. I don't know if I
Hi.
pronounced his
Oh my
name.
God.
Welcome to On the Floor, honey. It's
The
happening.
introduction was just giving. I'm just like blushing and dying the inside. I'm like, don't say so much nice stuff. Like, I'm working on it. I'm in therapy for that. But like, yeah.
No,
Thank
I
you
mean,
for giving me the opportunity to be here. This is really, really exciting. Finding out you have a show as well was also really inspiring for me, but also you're paving a way to a future generation that can really understand life and really just hear from, just certain things from your certain point perspective. And we've been actually trying to get this together for minutes. So I'm glad we're doing this now. And, I'm just so thankful and I am excited. I'm nervous. So, girl, thank you for getting me on here. Like, has been like a goal of mine for this year. So, listen, I'm living my fantasy. I'm living.
yes, that fantasy is a reality now. It's been a couple of months. We started talking about bringing you on the show for
Yes.
like 3 months now,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah. We
And
called it a phone.
oh my God,
Yeah.
I can't believe. Thank you so much for taking time to join me. So Rodney, so people are listening and wondering who is Rodney in detail. Do you want to share a little bit of your background, where you're coming from, and the work that you
Mhm,
do, and how we
mhm.
met is very important.
Yeah, so I am currently 22 years old. I am from Queens, New York. For the people who don't like Queens, I'm sorry, what you see is what you get. I'm currently working at a bakery cafe called Paris Baguettes. I really enjoy it. I'm such a huge caffeine addict. And for my work, I'm really trying to get into the modeling and acting business. I'm currently in acting classes. I'm trying to work with photographers and network and to really just meet new people. So what I'm really trying to do is just find balance in every aspect in my life and really just try to dedicate my all into my passions and really invest my time and my money into doing what I would like to do. But I would have to say during the pandemic, that's when I really fell in love with photography and like, really just understanding like maybe I could be a model because like I just love posting on Instagram and posing. And then I will always have my sister come and take pictures with me. And then I'll like bribe her with like food and stuff like that if she helped me. So yeah, I would have to say that's like how my transition starts throughout the pandemic and where we are today. I think I made some good progress and I'm definitely getting a lot more comfortable on camera. And yeah, it's been a fun journey, but also scary at the same time because I'm allowing myself to um, really just be comfortable with the camera and be comfortable within myself and understand that I am beautiful just the way I am. And I don't need to fit a certain image to feel beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that's an issue that I've been experiencing, just self-comparison and feeling like I have to be a certain way when it comes down to, because overall being in the industry can be hard itself, especially because you're so criticized about your looks. It could be hard to kind of, I don't know, it could just make it hard for you to really just see value in yourself. So that's what, um, it's scary what I'm doing, but like I know I'm passionate and it's gonna lead me to the right direction.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that. It's very interesting how you speak around turning passion into a career, which is one of the things that we're going to dive deep in the podcast. You're speaking around self-comparison. You're speaking around looks versus value, how that has drive or affected mental wellness for actors and models within the industry, and especially in New York City, where looks are very important. For you to get something, you need to look gorgeous, you need to look amazing, you need to look appealing. So it's very important thing. And the other thing that I'm so fascinated, in October, you founded your podcast, which is available on Spotify. Can you share a little bit more around the background, what made you to start your journey in creating podcasts? And when I was looking and consuming your content, your podcasts speak more around wellness and mental health issues. What made you to start the podcast, and what do we expect? What are we looking forward for this year?
Oh gosh, thank you for even acknowledging my podcast, because before you even mentioned that you checked it out, and you really just really enjoyed it. So I have to say thank you for that. But I started my podcast. Oh gosh, it was October, which feels like forever ago. But I initially wanted to do a podcast because I really had a admiration for podcasts and really just initiating deep and vulnerable conversations. So I was kind of going back and forth with myself of, should I do this? I don't want to be like everybody else and do a podcast. What if people judge me? I was kind of just having this back and forth battle within myself. So I really took the courageous, step and really just started a podcast, because I feel like I had a story to tell, and I want people to really resonate what I'm going through, and I really want to become inspiration to others as well. That was my goal. And make people just feel less alone, because I'm so passionate about certain topics. I really want to get deeper into just certain topics, like my mental health journey and how I'm in therapy. My story being in foster care. I also want to talk based about that as well. Talk about body issues and image issues. I definitely experienced that as well for myself. Just learning how to really love yourself and give yourself compassion. I think that's really important. And I don't know. I really want to just tell a story and have people listen and really have people whoa, actually resonate with everything you said. So the whole purpose was to really create purpose and create a sense of belonging within yourself. No matter if one person was like, hey, I really enjoyed your podcast, which I'm grateful for the people listened and they enjoyed it. So, I'm gonna get back into it this year soon. I gotta just find the time, but the intention is there. I gotta just, take the time to actually. Yes, not because somebody that I know is constantly bashing me about the podcast. When is it coming? I'm just I don't know. I'm going through a lot right now, so it's I just really have the appropriate time and the mental space to actually sit down and get it started. But yeah, it's definitely coming again this year for sure.
Stunning. So this year is going to be a bigger year for us, and looking forward to the next production of your podcast. I think it's very important how we as creators or people within the creative space to have a right mental state in order to produce content. And I find myself in this year, when we moved in this year, there's been so much transition in my life that I was not in a space, in a good space to produce content. I kept on wondering what type of content. But at the same time, I felt we are not doing ourselves justice, because the moment where you feel like, oh, this is my down moment, that's the moment you have your voice's impact. You know what I'm saying? So when you feel lonely or you feel down because of certain other issues, I think that's the time where you can sit down and utilize those emotions into a form of podcast or into a form of content, so that your content is more meaningful because you're speaking from a place of experience. You're speaking from a place of knowing what it feels like to be in this state of mind. So you spoke around turning passion into a career. How can, for a 22-year-old who's listening to this podcast, can they turn their passion into a career, knowing maybe they're from a small town? Sometimes the reality, it happens when you move to New York City, because that's where traffic is, that's where consumption is around content on social media. So I want you to give the listeners or me the practical tools and the steps that you have put in place for yourself in creating or finding ways to turn passion into your career.
Oh my God, that's such a lovely question. I would have to say, firstly, just starting. I think once you have a passion and you kind of get scared, I think it kind of pushes you back from reaching your potential. So I would have to say just starting, getting it done. But also I think social media is a beautiful way of networking. I've been also trying to network and meet new people as well. So I can kind of meet new people who are in the same industry as me, people that I can learn from and meet and really just have these certain experiences with. So I would have to say just network on social media if you feel like you want to meet more people, and just having just good people around you and just having a good circle that's going to support you and really just guide you, through life. Because, I think sometimes getting started could be hard because of a lot of fear. And I still have a lot of fear in my life and starting things, but I'm just like, I'm trying to have the mindset of I don't want to I don't want to live life with the regrets. I don't want to live like knowing that I wish I've done this, I wish I've done that. Because to be quite frankly, we're all gonna die one day. So I tell myself I want to die knowing that, I did things I always wanted to do. I can't die. My time is not done yet. Like, I need to know I've done what I always wanted to do before I go to the good gates of heaven. So yeah, I think just giving it a try, going for it, starting, networking, and just being surrounded by people that will support you and just have to say
embrace you.
is
Yeah.
really important. Yeah.
No, true. That's very true. And it's so incredible how, fear has taken so many lives for so many people.
Yes.
So many people, they want to be something in life, but because of fear of judgment, you spoke about judgment earlier on, and judgment versus sacrifice, when you just say, oh my God, I am not focusing on fear in this point in time, I'm just focusing on sacrificing. And it looks very scary to sacrifice, because when you sacrifice, you're putting an investment, which means you're going to gain. Sometimes the gain might not be in the next month. It might be in a year or in 5 years. But eventually it's going to come when you network, right? So all of these tools, it's very scary, Rodney. It's very scary. I remember when I moved to the United States, my fear was, will I make it? Will I create connection? Will I create a life? But I find that I take bold step in meeting people and approaching people and introducing myself, introducing the work that I do, in introducing the podcast and reaching out in people, in putting myself in spaces that are uncomfortable, in spaces that are not familiar. And it's a new territory for me. And my English is not as clear. So sometimes people, they don't understand me when I speak English. They're like, oh my God, what this girl's saying? But what's important is it's positionality, and knowing that in this life, if you don't do it, no one will do it. Someone else will do it, and you'll be like, oh my God, I had this idea, but it's too late. So I was listening to this podcast the other day. So the person was saying that in a day, the person has 60 ideas, right? Out of
Oh,
60 ideas, like creative ideas, one is implemented out of 60. And
what?
so yes, so the majority of people, they don't implement those 60 ideas at all. They
Mm,
might have, for example, to say, I want to start a business, right? Or maybe I want to sell t-shirts as an example, but they don't do it because they're afraid.
mm,
Um, or they have circumstances that they drove them, right? So sometimes there are these forces. It's either economical and financial security
yeah.
that makes people not to do certain things that they envision. But some
Mhm,
people, they might have those resources, but it's fear that is holding them back, right?
yeah.
So he was saying that the majority of people, they don't implement 60 ideas that they come up on a daily basis. And when they reach 60, they or in their bed of dying, they start regretting. I wish I would kept that relationship. I wish I did this. I wish I did that. So sometimes we know better, but we don't do better, right?
Yeah.
It's such an interesting
It's
context.
it's so unfortunate and sad that we live in a society where we really based a lot of everything because of fear. Like it just I don't know. I just wish that we was just able to do what we always wanted to do and not have fear in the back of our mind. I wish fear never even existed because I feel like if it wasn't for fear, then a lot of people would be living out their dreams. And even like older people, you know, they have dreams of becoming this, becoming that, and they never do because of certain circumstances. And it's like, damn, like it breaks your heart knowing like you had the potential to really follow your dreams, you know. So this is why, you know, I encourage everyone to just really follow your dreams and really go for after you want, no matter what. You don't have to start young and you don't have to stop when you're old, you know. I feel like you keep dreaming to the day you die, you keep doing to the day you die. So
Hmm.
that's
Get
about
into
that.
it. You're so wild. I like that. I mean,
Oh my god, I
so
love that.
interesting.
Love that. That's
That's
me.
so cute. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, the goal is to do it, Rodney. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. And
Yes.
the other day, I remember we were talking on our DMs, me and you, around the trend of the video. What's the name of the lady, the black actress? I forgot her name. So the video was around how black actors are not paid enough money
Oh yeah,
within the
Taraji P.
same.
Henson. Taraji P. Henson. Like girl.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Yes. So we were talking about how she
Working in
was
the Olympic.
saying that she has put so much work in the entertainment industry globally, and
Yeah.
but she's still not paid enough because she has a team of
Yeah.
representation. For example, maybe for a gig she might be paid 300. Out of that $300,000, she needs to pay her team. Maybe it's the team of six. At the end of the day, she doesn't have enough money. And what can we do as Black people in setting negotiation skills, or in setting ourselves in a way that we are seen in the table, our voices are heard, we are
Mm-hmm.
compensated, we are being paid fairly or enough,
Mm-hmm.
even more, so that we can be
Mm-hmm.
able to create a more sustainable life. Because for me, it was
Yeah.
heartbreaking to say, "Oh my God, it's so sad. It's very sad
Yeah.
how,
Yeah.
yeah, it makes me. I'm like, oh my God, I'm puzzled out.
It,
Ronnie, can you
it's
guide
it
me?"
it it's mind blowing. I watched so many because obviously she was promoting the Color Purple film that came out on Christmas. Did you see it? Because I loved it. I loved it.
I saw it, girl. It was fire. I'm like, oh my
No,
God.
Taraji ate down vocals. Everybody was amazing, and I literally like posted an Instagram story expressing my feelings and stuff. But you know, throughout all
Mm,
the promotion, for the film,
Yeah.
she was expressing that, she's been in the game for 20 plus years. Understanding that, she's
Mm.
been in the industry for a long time, and how
Mm.
she's been getting paid unfairly due to her being a Black actress, which
Mm.
broke my heart because obviously, we've seen her work. Like, I loved her as Cookie
Mm.
at Empire, and then Hidden Figures, and she was Miss Hannigan on Broadway. She done so many projects, and to know that she's still getting paid less than other people, it's crazy to me, knowing that she's been in this business for a long time now. So it broke my heart knowing that, every day is still a fight, and she was saying the same thing over and over and over again, but it's like nobody
Mm.
wants to hear her out on everything. And it's not just her basically coming out about these certain issues. A lot of Black actresses in the industry are coming forward and talking about, them not getting paid fairly, and, them just, not being treated the way they deserve.
Mm.
It puts me in a position as if, how am I going to be like, because I want to get in the industry, and obviously as a Black queer man, where does that lead?
Mm-hmm.
And it gives me some sense of fear of like, am I ever
Will I
gonna,
make it?
yeah, exactly. Will I make it? So,
Mm.
it creates a lot of fear, but also gives me a lot of hope because we have these people that are paid with no way. So,
Mm.
Hollywood could kind of really deconstruct the way the system is built when it comes into financial, I guess, when it comes into their financials and making sure like they're paying, you know, their people right. But, I think this is really informative for me as well because I'm able to learn so much about the industry because it's not all glitz and glam. A lot of people, you may think they have money, but in reality they're struggling, and only 2% of
Mm.
the act till this day actually they actually make it in life. 98%
Mm.
struggling, they're grinding, they're working, which I respect, but only the 2% at 100% are actually like rich, and they're able to sustain themselves, and
Mm.
which is crazy, right? Which is
It
crazy.
is. I'm like, oh my God, 2%, Rodney. This is crazy. I'm just wondering, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's so interesting, but it's a
No,
good
that's yeah.
learning experiences for upcoming creators who want to be in the space. It's either in
Mhm.
music or in acting. How then do you become the best? But beyond being the best, how then do you become? Sometimes people that we say that they are the best, they are not paid. But people that we say, oh, this one, no, they are highly paid. So being able to really get those income, it's very important so that you can create a sustainable life.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. In South Africa, prior before I moved here, I was living in South Africa between the countries and being able for the work that I was doing. So in Africa, the most of the consumption around entertainment, it's Nigeria or South Africa. So at some point on Twitter, Twitter is called X now, right? X
Yeah,
will bring you
girl.
to shame. So they
Good.
think it will bring you to shame. So there was this huge actor for about 30 years of decades and experience or 20 years plus. He was begging for help, to people to help him to donate. Posted the account to say, people may please donate, even if it's 10, like $1 in my account. I need it because I don't have a place to stay. So it's one of those things. We look around entertainment because when you see people on television, automatically they set an inspiration. You're like, oh my God,
Yes.
I want to be like that person. But at the same time, that person, we don't know about their financial status, even if
You don't know. Yeah.
because the assumption is like, oh my God, they're getting so much money. But while it's in reality, they are not. So it's one of those things. I think there's really a need around even the Black communities for us to further engage around the financial conversations, around the financial investment and financial capacity and financial literacy, which is very important around how
Yeah,
do we spend
yeah,
the little money that we
yeah.
have.
Maybe
But at the
spend.
same time, it's important for us as Black people not to feel guilt when buying, for example, things, because sometimes of the hardship in our lives, you feel even ashamed to buy yourself a Gucci bag because you'll be like, oh my God, I'm spending too much,
Girl,
you know.
if I had money like that, I would give myself a little Gucci just to treat myself.
I-
But no,
yes.
I agree
I
wholeheartedly.
mean,
I agree.
mm,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like
because I
that
feel like you're
mentality,
allowed to. Wait, what? Sorry.
yeah, yeah, I feel like that mentality of guiltiness with your monies. So I think we need to have broader conversation, and especially for younger people who want to be in the space, who want to be in the film and entertainment, those conversations are
Hmm.
very meaningful. And to have a team that is very solid, a team that is concrete, a team that of expertise, that they know how to negotiate, um, it might be a good deal as well. But if you're starting, it's so hard to have a team of people that can represent the brand, right? So you start
Yeah,
by yourself getting, you'll be taking small jobs, even if maybe there might be a big role on television. But because you
yeah,
negotiated small, because you wanted that opportunity. So all of these
yeah,
things, I think they're very important for us to then set the knowledge on that. Not so sure
yeah.
how
I
you feel
think just
about.
like have people as well, like making sure people have good intentions. You can have a
Mhm.
team around you, and they have the worst intentions for you. They want to see you win. They don't want to really build you up. I think just having good people around you with good intentions and want you to get you higher in life is really important as well. Um, I'm I'm learning so much about the Hollywood industry because once I do get into it, I would know how to like read a contract. I will learn how to advocate for myself and really just get paid for what I'm worth and stuff. So it's sad that Hollywood is just, I don't know, it's created for unfairness, which it shouldn't be like that. I think it needs to be more room for representation and really just showcasing Black talent because listen, we're killing it. We're just not seen, and it's sad. So I really that's why I get so inspired when it comes to Black actors who are advocating for a more
Hmm.
equal system because
Mm.
they're going to pave the way for future generations because what if there's a young actress who want to be like Viola Davis or Taraji P. Henson or whatever.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
it's going to come with a lot of struggle and a lot of hardships and a lot of knocking down, getting yourself back up. And
Mm.
I don't know. It's just, and this is why I want to do, that's why I really fell in love with activism because, it just, I feel like the world, it needs a lot of work to do. So that's why
Yeah.
be involved in as much as I can because it needs a lot of healing. So and then I
Mm.
think it's up to us as the people to really start the healing and really just having these conversations, these difficult conversations, and just not
Mm.
stop these conversations because it's really important.
Great. I really like the fact that you spoke around system reform, which, system is built on traditional, right, style.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So breaking those systems,
Hmm.
it might take another decade or 40
Yeah,
years because
yeah,
Hollywood has been over centuries. It's been, they've been a milestone in terms of channeling entertainment. So it will take a couple of years. But I'm so excited that we are seeing the big stars being the voices of the community stepping
yeah,
up and speaking around injustices that they face, and speaking up around the segregation that they feel within the Hollywood system, So that's a good stepping stone. And for us and the work that you do, hope to channel and creating a system that will be more meaningful to us and the next generation. You know, I think I'm a church girl, y'all.
Okay.
I'm a church girl. And a part of that, you know, and I always, whenever I'm praying, I'm always say, I am breaking generational curses. And, you know, being Black, we are born with the generational curses, and some of general curses is poverty, right? It's poverty that started from our forefathers because they didn't have resources or they were in slavery. It's poverty that is embedded with our grandparents, that is still transcending to the generation. And you look at our mothers, they didn't figure it out. You look at us, you're like, oh my God, I'm turning 30 soon, and you're still juggling. So there's cases that are still built within generations and are still passed on to the next generations. And for me, I always say I'm done with the generational cases. You know, it's either general cases of mental health, of mental breakdown, of setback, of poverty, of not getting finances together. You know, every day you have to juggle. It's like you're in a juggle. You're surviving to get bread. You're surviving to do this. You work so hard. You put more hours to get income, and the money is not enough. So for me, you know, I'm like, girl, I'm done. I'm done with the devil. I'm done. So
even like people who are working 2 to 3 jobs and it's still not in society today.
Yes, it is.
I remember water being $1. What happened to that?
I mean, we are living in the world of capitalist, and you know, capitalist.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers. Oh, it's so crazy, Rodney. It's so crazy. But I like the other thing that you spoke about, healing. And whenever we touch base around mental health, we cannot separate healing. And healing is the most part of who we are. But most of us, we're still carrying generational traumas. Like I spoke about generational cases and generational traumas that are still affecting us. It's the trauma from being in New York City, right? Just seeing how competitive it is. You have this anxiousness, and then you start being suppressed. You start feeling depressed up until you are not even passionate anymore in chasing those goals. Up until you are afraid to say, "Oh my God, I'm quitting podcast because it's not worth it," and you find yourself scaring away from your dreams, your goals, and the purpose why you left Massachusetts at the first place to set an inspiration, finding avenues because of hardship. Can you share a little bit more? How does healing look like for you? And what type of mechanisms do you have in place? I know it might be a tough question because we're still struggling, right? But there are certain mechanisms that you said, oh my God, I've been depressed for too long. I need to step up. I need to show up. How does healing look like in your terms?
Thank you for asking that question, because I'm still on my healing and stuff. But healing for me is really I think just accepting what happens. You know, I think for me, for a long time, you know, I think I had this idea of like, okay, I think I'm like healed or whatever, but no, like healing it's not a linear thing. You know, one day you're gonna be good, and the next thing you're gonna be crying in your bathroom. Like, no, but I think healing for me is just accepting what it is that happened to me and acknowledging that there was nothing that I can do, and you can't go back and rewind time and do it over again. I think just accepting the fact that whatever happened, and you know, you're gonna have to live with that for the rest of your life. But, you know, finding things to cope with your mental health. For example, therapy. I've been therapy for 7 years. It's been great. But even for the people who unfortunately can't afford therapy due to healthcare, that's a whole nother conversation. But I actually went to this Black mental health event in Harlem a couple weeks ago, and we were just talking about destigmatizing mental health in Black communities and Black family households, because mental health is not talked about enough, especially in Black families. And I was just so inspired by all the activists and psychiatrists that were talking and speaking about it and stuff. And you know but what I've learned was the different ways to manage your mental health. Journaling is an alternative. Yoga is an alternative, which I've tried in the past. It's relaxing, but like my mind, I start spiraling. I'm like, wee. So,
yes.
Yoga and just overall self-care, taking time to really invest in yourself and make yourself feel good. It could be from cooking a nice meal or really getting yourself together or papering yourself, really just calling a friend or a family member and really just, venting to them if it's necessary and stuff. There was so many different things I learned from that conversation. And that's the reason I'm such a huge advocate for mental health, because it's so important. And you hear a lot of young kids that are killing themselves at a young age, and suicide rates are extremely high, especially at younger ages and stuff. So I don't know, I want to be the voice for that. And I want to kind of break that mold of like, it's okay to seek help. It's okay to be sad one day. It's okay to have trauma. Like literally yesterday, I found out that a coworker of mine is going to therapy.
Oh,
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Amazing. Yes. Cheers to them.
Listening. So that's why I really fell in love with the mental health space, and just kind of just sharing more of my story and being more involved in things that's going to be impactful for anybody that is struggling.
Great. Yeah. So maybe for I do partnering work for my YouTube with Better Health. So for someone who's listening, try betterhelp.com if you need mental health services. BetterHelp is a channeled online platform. You can seek therapy at any location, at any point, at any time of the day. You can select the best therapist that is very meaningful to you. If the person that you've selected is not good enough for you, you can change the therapist. You can get services as cheap as $10. It's worldwide. Try BetterHelp. BetterHelp.com is the platform that you need to make sure that you reach a potential health and well-being you deserve. We can heal if we are stepping up and taking ownership of ourselves and feelings and finding the journey of healing. Rodney, I really appreciate how you spoke about healing. I have experienced how healing has liberated so many people. And, mental health is still a global pandemic and is still taken lightly among the Black communities. It's still taken lightly. Which is something that we really need to create a spaces for us to step up and talk about it and be about it. And part of that, this is why I really loved your podcast. I'm like, oh my God, in my mind, it's mind blowing how how our body is made of mind, and how our mind can be the devil. Sometimes we say, oh my God, I've got haters. Why these are the haters is the mind. Not even people's mind, but our mind. Because if your mind is positive, which means you're in a better space. But if your mind is sick, right, which means you are in a toxic space with yourself, your judgments are blurry, how you engage with people might be shallow or might be blurry, or your decision making might not be as effective, and you are sick. So I really wish, and that's the hope, that we are combating and creating meaningful discussions around Black and mental health issues. And keep it up and channeling that beautiful work. You spoke earlier around foster care, and
Yeah.
I really fascinated because this is a new system to me. Just to share a little bit more around foster care. What is foster care? How do you get enrolled in the foster care? And yeah, all the fun stuff.
Oh my God, all the fun stuff. Oh, goodness.
I mean,
Where do I
it's a
begin?
beautiful.
Where do I begin? I'm not gonna make it too long because I could talk for hours and then obviously like you'll get tired of me. So I'm gonna just make it briefly and informative as possible.
Yes.
For those who may or may not know, for the viewers that are listening, hey, I got into the system when I was 16 years old. It was me and my two younger other siblings. We, previous to foster care, we kind of went through abuse with our mother at the time. And to that point, it got to a space where they couldn't accept it anymore, and they took matters into their own hands, which was scary to me because at 16, I didn't know what was going on, and everything was kind of happening so fast. So we got removed from our mother at the time's home, and then we got put into the system, and that was such a weird thing because it happened so fast and it was so scary and stuff. And we kind of got thrown into it and stuff. So we got into the system for a couple of weeks, and I was still in high school. I was in the 11th grade. So, it actually happened during spring or whatever. So that was a whole nother thing. But just me, my siblings, two of my younger siblings kind of dealing with this together. We're glad we didn't get separated throughout all of that because that would have been so scary because always the three of us, I guess. So we got into the system, and then we ended up transitioning into living in a foster home with a foster mom with her own daughter and her husband. So that was already scary enough as it is. We had to kind of navigate the relationship, got to know each other, really just understand each other, and just overall be comfortable because I'm living in a stranger's home. It was new, it was scary. So, but she literally saved our lives, even in like, oh my God, how do I explain it? Like, we went through a lot of hardships, even being in foster care, because she had to kind of navigate us, and she experienced some things. Obviously, we're kids, we're gonna do dumb stuff. So, she never gave up on us, and after everything, she still continued to look out for us and really take care of us because that was her job, was to really take care of us. And on top of that, her intentions wasn't really about the money, because I've learned that foster parents don't make a lot of money when it comes to fostering children and stuff from the government, which was a whole crazy thing. I think foster parents deserve what they deserve because they're really taking on a role and they're really taking care of these kids, So she literally saved my life, and I really learned so much from that experience. I was able to really go to college for free. I was able to really meet with a lot of people. The social workers, I had a lot of social workers coming in out of my life. I had to learn how to really advocate for what I want and really be passive aggressive. And then over the time, I've learned to really embrace my story and not really run away from it. So I don't mind people. I was in foster care. I had no shame in my game, but it was definitely triggering for me to accept all of that because I was kind of replaying old past trauma in my head and stuff like that, which I still do occasionally, but a lot worse because I was transitioning to a new environment where I didn't really know about. So that's why I became an advocate for, foster care, because unfortunately a lot of kids don't end up in good foster homes, and the foster parents end up doing it for the wrong reasons. And, every child deserves to be taken care of no matter what, you know. And that's why I joined the YAB program by Fair Futures. It's basically an organization that really specializes a lot of young voices who in the system or out of the system to really advocate and really build a sustainable system for kids. So involved in that was really, it's crazy, and I'm learning, and I'm really trying to get involved in a lot more and stuff. But yeah, I've learned how to turn into power, which I've always said to myself. So I'm glad I experienced that, because I probably wouldn't be here right now.
True.
And,
wow.
That's the thing.
I had to take a deep breath because that is very inspiring.
Really? Oh my God.
Yes, true. You are really indeed a storyteller, and sometimes things happen for a reason. Now you are in a space where you are able to utilize your experiences and testimonies and sharing those and setting an inspiration to younger people or to people in foster home to say, hey, there is hope. Hey, things could be better if we work in this way. So thank you so much, Rodney, for that. I want us to play a short, cute game, right?
Okay, I'm ready.
Which is called This or That. So I have 10 questions.
I'm ready. Listen.
Yes, I have 10 questions for you. We have about a minute to play this game. So I'll be seeing that on the screen. So you have to be prompt and fast. Okay, are we ready?
Okay. Yes.
Let's go. Sex or romance?
You said sex or romance?
Yes.
Whoa, romance.
Wow. Road trips or long flights?
Road trips.
Matcha
I'm scared of
latte or
flying.
espresso? Then we need to fly. Matcha latte or espresso?
Oh, matcha latte all the way. Espresso by itself, I don't know how you do it, but yeah.
That's crazy. iPhone or Samsung?
iPhone gang, hello.
That's good. Dinner date or movie date?
Ooh. Oh God. Oh Lord. Jesus. I would say movie date. I would say movie date. I like a good movie.
Oh, nice. Prada or Chanel?
Oh Lord, I don't really know. I would say Chanel.
Yes.
I don't really know anything about expensive stuff. I think Chanel. I'll think Chanel.
Great. New York City or California?
Oh gosh, I would have to say New York. I always wanted to go to LA. I would love to go, but I would say New York for now.
Yeah. Beautiful. Porsche or Mercedes-Benz?
Wait, what was that one?
Porsche or Mercedes-Benz?
Oh God, I don't know what that is.
Porsche, a car? Porsche or Mercedes-Benz?
Porsche. Oh,
Porsche.
Porsche. Yeah, I would say that one. Yeah.
Okay. A cheeseburger or pasta dish?
Oh, cheeseburger all the way. Oh Lord, get into the beef. Get into the beef.
Yeah, all the time. Bamboo or grinder?
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Oh God,
I did.
You did. Bumble.
Good.
Grinder.
No, to the garbage.
To the garbage.
Wow. This is fun. So I've learned this game that, you get to know each other more. But at the same time, it's very exciting. Yes. We did it in 3 minutes instead of 1 minute. Shout out to you.
Listen, I'll take it.
Wow. Thank you so much, Ronnie, for chilling with me. I really appreciate. I am looking forward to listening to your next episodes this year. It's going to be a beautiful year. A free
Thank
year
you. Thank
means
you.
nothing to us. We can step up and show up
Yes.
and still sacrifice and try to create what passion looks like in our
Thank
terms.
you.
Yes, thank you so much for chilling with me. I appreciate we've
Thank
come to,
you.
we've been
Thank you for
chilling for 50 minutes.
me.
It's so wild. It's really like time went
It's
by very fast.
crazy. I'm literally crossing off a goal off my vision board. So this was so much fun. Like this, oh my gosh, I've been wanting to do this for a minute. So thank you, girl. This was amazing, and keep killing it. Keep killing it. Keep being the bad
Yeah.
bitch. Keep being the bad Instagram, and just the time that we've been friends, you've just been so sweet and so genuine, and I never sensed any bad vibes. I appreciate, just who you're a person, and just your beautiful aura, and just make an impact in your way. So, girl, I'm giving you your flowers as well. So,
Oh, I take them. I take them. I take them. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I am so happy that we did this finally. And yes, take care and continue healing. We'll be in touch shortly.
Thank you,
Bye.
Queen. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.